everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome. Today we're here to talk about Savant's integration with Apple TV. And so let's jump right in, because I got to talk quick. I got 3 minutes. So anytime you're talking about integration, I think that the nature of the integration is always going to be defined by the quality of the experience, which I tend to lump into two big buckets. The first bucket is being able to do whatever it is that that thing you're integrating with does natively. And so in the case of Apple TV, you're talking about transport controls that the remote control has, the play, the pause, the menu, and you're also talking about Siri, voice control. So that is something that is in the API. I hit this button, nothing happened. So that is something that we actually co-developed the API with Apple, and that is something that is available now for any control and automation company to do, as they announced at the WWDC last year. And so that's the kind of, again, what that thing does by itself. But people don't integrate products or buy control and automation solutions just to have what it does by itself. There has to be some value that you add on top of that, and that's where we come into play and try to add that value through the integration. So in our case, it's being able to do things that maybe that device doesn't do by itself, but does in conjunction with a partner like ourselves. In this case, we're talking about the ability to talk to other devices that are in the room or in the home, switching inputs on the TV or on the receiver or on a video switch, third-party scenes that you could say maybe there's a movie night, it turns on the TV and goes to the Apple TV as a source, but dims the lights to a certain level, or other things that you can do to be part of that experience and add to it overall qualitatively. One part that is native to Apple TV, as you all know, is HomeKit, and it's important to take a quick minute just to talk about that, because what does that really mean for us as a channel here at CEDIA? And I think that it's a good thing overall because of the market awareness. You have the big companies out there, the teams are forming, you have Google, you have Amazon, you have Apple, all of them have an ecosystem at this point that they're offering, and massive marketing campaigns to bring the overall awareness of control and automation up into the market. And that's only a good thing for all of us here, where people are walking into your shops and they're asking you about this. And so it's nice to be able to say, yes, we support HomeKit, and here's how, and here's what it means for you in your home, and perhaps something alongside that that might be more appropriate. And that's where you can start to introduce other solutions that enhance that overall experience and may be more appropriate for their homes. But the real exciting thing for us is being able to add value. And again, that's not just through maybe having a nice remote or some of the other things that you can add, but it's something that's brand new that we've done, and Savant's the first to introduce a Savant Home app for Apple TV. And this is, as you know, Savant has today apps for iOS, for Android, and we believe interfaces are basically contextual, that we find are dispersed throughout the home. In other words, when you get into the home, the most convenient thing might be to just use your voice, or it might be to hit a dimmer or a keypad on the wall. But when you're watching TV, which Americans do in the order of 5 hours average per day, in the order of 3.5 TVs per home, it's really nice while you're just sitting on the couch to be able to access everything in your home. And so Savant, just like there's a Netflix app and an HBO app, there's now a Savant Home app for Apple TV that lets you do anything that you could do from the Savant app, but now using a heads-up display, which is very ergonomic. You're already looking up at the TV, and now you can navigate on your TV, grab everything from scenes, grabbing your different sources, grabbing your favorites, and have that personalization there for you as a user. So we would invite you to come over to our booth and see this in action. We have it there set up fully on display, the Savant Home app for Apple TV, along with our video switches, which shows you an ability to do that not only as a full screen app, but also as a picture-in-picture app when combined with our 4K over IP switch. So I'll pause there and open up for questions.
All right, yeah, any questions for someone?
So if you're watching something on Apple TV, do you have to back out of that to get to the Savant app? And then, like, if I was watching Netflix and I want to turn some lights down, I back out of Netflix, I get into the Savant app, I lower the lights, I get back into Netflix, or can I do it all while I'm still watching whatever I'm watching on Apple TV?
That's a great question. So we actually do it two different ways. If you only have an Apple TV without one of our 4K video switches, then you're right, it would become a full screen app. You would navigate away from what you're doing, and menuing system would appear, and you could do whatever you want to do. But we actually have the ability to do it as a picture-in-picture display, which is a really great experience. So you're still watching what you're watching, but you can navigate down, check out cameras, change the temperature, or do lights, and without having to interrupt what the viewing experiences offer.
All right. George Katsaros of Savant, thank you so much.
Thank you.